Hey guys, so first off I want to say I miss seeing everybody a lot, especially my bases. So I'm doing my best to continue teaching from home. We're going to just keep going through the method book and through our advanced progressive repertoire. Just be patient with me as I'm uploading videos and figuring out how to do all this, because remember, I'm a boomer. And anyway, so let's get started. So I'm looking at Sound Innovations, page 29, and the page that you got to this video has the definitions like it has in the book, and also some extra things. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds to read the blue boxes on page 29, at least the top one. So press pause, and when you're done reading and understanding what that means, or to the best of what you can right now, then press play. So on page 29, it talks about common time, which is just 4/4 time. The composers got lazy and just wanted to write a big C because they got tired of writing 4/4. So it is the most common time. We'll see it a lot. We've already seen 4/4 time a lot. So now it's just another way of writing it. It's like a shortcut. The next thing it talks about is half steps and whole steps. Half step being the closest distance between two notes, at least in Western music, which is what we learn. And so if they show you on a piano how the half steps work, they are touching keys. For bass, as well as for cello, half steps are going to be consecutive fingers, and whole steps are going to be skipping fingers. So you can think of it that way. Also, from your 4 fingers to the next string up is going to be a half step, which is really kind of cool. It's the only instrument that does that, so that's pretty cool. So looking at it, I also like the word tetrachord because it reminds me of Tetris, which is still one of my favorite games to play, though my son's starting to beat me a lot. Anyway, so tetrachord means 4 notes. Like Tetris has those shapes with 4 different blocks. Tetrachord means 4 notes instead of 4 blocks. And when we put 2 tetrachords together, one after the other, we make a 1-octave scale, meaning 8 notes. So 4 plus 4 equals 8. Look at that math. So we're going to talk about the tetrachords because I think that's an easier way to remember how to build a major scale with the pattern of whole steps and half steps. So with a tetrachord, we're going to have a whole step, half step. And what that means, we're going to go from D to E, which is a whole step, E to F sharp, whole step, F sharp to G, half step. And if you're not sure, you can look at the little piano on the page and see what you need, or what I mean. Also, if you don't have your book, you'll see a link for the copy of the page. I'm going to try to have that in case people forgot their books at school, or you just can't find it because your house is crazy like mine and everybody's stuff is everywhere because we're all home. So hopefully putting everything in one place will make it a little bit easier for you to follow along. And you're welcome to print out whatever you need to print out if you can, or I don't know, flip between different pages and stuff. So anyway, so talking about the tetrachords, the whole step, half step, and then we're going to connect it by a whole step to connect it to the next tetrachord, whole step, half step. So I think of it like a donut with a hole in the middle. So here's what I mean. We're going to go from D to E, it's a whole step. So here's D to E, whole step again, half step. Then we're going to connect it to a whole step, whole step, and half step. So half steps are the small spaces and whole steps are the big spaces. So let's play 111 with the bow all the way through. It's the D major scale, which we've already learned 20 million times and played it forever. So let's go ahead and practice that. And I want you to think about your whole steps and half steps while you're playing it this time. It's a little bit different to think of it that way. And that'll help you build any major scale that you want to. And as we get into other scales like minors and stuff, you'll be able to figure out what the half steps are and stuff, and think about what that sounds like, what a half step sounds like versus a whole step. All right, 111. And remember, I'm not a bassist. Yikes. 1, 2, ready, here we go. hope so. I hope you're thinking about your finger patterns and whole steps and half steps. Did you notice your fourth finger, this next note here wouldn't be G, right? Remember we learned that in Twinkle. So notice from F sharp to G is a tiny line, but G to A is a whole line, so it's a whole step. Does that make sense? All right, feel free to practice through that D major scale just to think about the half steps and whole steps again. You can press rewind on this video and practice it as many times as you want. Remember, nobody's judging you. Nobody's in class with you. It's just you and me, and I can't even see you on your end. So I hope you're practicing a lot so that you can improve and get better. All right, I want to talk about string slurs next. I have some more Nelson's notes or ideas on my page that says about slurs. Remember to plan your bow. We've talked about this before with slurs. When you're changing your bow, you want to think about halfway through, right? Because we're doing like half note values with our bow. And then I also want you to think about that you have, when you switch strings, you're going to need a little bit more weight and a little bit more speed, like a little grab to switch the string, just so that it comes out and pronounces a little bit more cleanly than if you don't. So you can practice with that and see what I mean. Like if you just move your bow over, it will happen, but it's just going to take a little more time. So if you put a little bit more weight and a little more speed, maybe even a little more bow length, that will help at the start of the note to make it pronounce. All right, so I'm looking at string slurs, number 112, and we have a big shift at the end to jump up to this D. Remember that when you're shifting, we've talked about this before, but your thumb has to come too. Your whole arm has to move when you do that shift, right? You can't leave your thumb back, it will reach. So you gotta make sure you're doing the whole arm and fast to get there. All right, so feel free to pizzicato with me first and then rewind it and then go with the bow. Practice as many times as you want. That's the great thing about this video is that you can practice as many times as you want to. All right, so here we go. String slurs. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't think about my bow weight on the start of the next note. Did you hear it? Yeah, it kind of didn't come out as clear as the first note did, right? So I had this note and it wasn't really there. Gotta put a little bit more pulse on it. All right, so I'm gonna try that again. Maybe I'll do better at bass. Thanks for being patient with me. Again, practice as many times as I need to. Practice as many times as you need to. 1, 2, try again. Quick shift. There, was that better? A little bit. I could use some more practice on that. So I'll work on my time. And not yours. You can work on your time for you. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and try 113 string slurs. Now, there's something really cool that you can do here that only bass players get to do. You get to play kind of like a guitar would play. You can play your first finger straight across both the D string and the G string. So that you can get, so I don't know if you can see my finger. So my finger's gonna be more like this rather than like this. It's gonna be definitely more flat and across both strings. So that as I change my string crossing, I'm already on the A and I don't have to hop my finger over or anything like that. It's just there. I'll show you what I mean. So again, this would be a great one to practice pizzicato first, just to make sure you know what your left hand is doing before you add in the bow, because that just adds more chaos. So what I mean by that is, well, we start with open D, and then we're just gonna play A like we did, like we normally would. But then we're going to add in E to A, and so that's what I mean. And play it cross, almost like you're playing guitar. Except your thumb's not around this way, because that's not gonna help you at all, right? So make sure you think about your thumb, get it back around so that you have the weight to press down on these very fat strings. Oh, my babies. You, not me, you. All right. So string crossing, what is it? More string slurs, number 113. 1, 2, 3, 4. kind of cool? I think so. I don't know if you noticed, if I were to look at that video again, I think when I first started, I may have helped my second finger by pushing down my, helped my first finger by pushing my second finger down, make it a little bit more strong on that. Okay? All right, 2 seconds to read the box in the, about a concerto. All right, so 114, theme from violin concerto. I mean, it's violin concerto, but we play bass, whatever. I'm going to show you a couple of cool fingerings that it doesn't have in the book that I really wish it did. So I'm going to pizzicato first. Let me set my bow down. Okay, so I'm going to pizzicato first. So let's go through the names of the notes, make sure we know what they are. So it goes F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, A, G, F sharp, E, F sharp, D, E, A, repeat, measure 1. F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, A, second ending, B, G, E, A, D, rest. All right. Remember, if you missed any of those notes, you can rewind it and play through it again so you can write down the notes that you need to know. All right, also, raise your hand if you remembered about the first and second endings. Yeah, so the first time through we play the first ending, but then when we repeat, we don't play that first ending again because we played it already. So we play the second ending. It's just a fancy repeat sign so that the composer, again, was lazy and didn't have to write out all the notes. So we're gonna play measure 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 5, 6. So, does that make sense? I hope so. So we're gonna play the first ending the first time and then the second ending. So for basses, I wanted to show you guys a really cool fingering that as I was practicing this, which I did practice a little before playing for you on the video, because that would be really embarrassing if I was trying to sight read on bass, because I go into cello mode all the time, because bass clef is like my home on my cello, and it's different fingerings, right? Remember how it's different fingerings. Okay, so for this one, I found out, so if I start out, if I go to 1 for B, C sharp is right there, and I don't have to do a shift in the middle of eighth notes and a slur. Yikes! So I would do 1 here, and then a little, it's called a pivot. You could just keep your thumb down if you wanted to reach that D and just do a little like reach like that, or you could do a mini shift. It's like a little baby shift. So I like that because I got little hands. All right, so I'll show you again. Shift on the B, baby shift, and it's right there. And I would cross over for that A because I can play open G next. And then do it again. The only difference when you come back again to the second ending, you do need to shift somehow. I just go back to first position because it's what I know and it's easy. I have a little rattle. I'll try to get rid of that by next video, okay? All right, so let's play number 114, pizzicato together. Try my shifting, try my fingering as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shift, baby, cross over, open, first ending. Crossover, or you can come back there if you wanted to. 1, 2, 3, rest. All right, if you're ready to try it with the bow, try it with the bow. If you need to do pizzicato again, you can either pause the video and figure it out, or you can rewind and practice with me again. Remember, nobody's watching you but you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try it with the bow. Tighten it just a little bit more. Remember not to over tighten your bow, but I still have a nice curve in here. All right. Whew. A violin concerto on the bass. What better way to start our online learning, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. vibrato. I'm not great at vibrato on bass with fourth finger. I know on cello, I do lift my thumb up so I have a little bit more wiggle, but I'm not sure I would do that on bass. I might move my thumb though. So you could try it on the half notes. You can definitely do it on this E because we've done this vibrato on E. So remember, it's like you're shifting for new A and new G, but your finger got caught, right? So it's like you're shifting, my finger got caught. Let's hear my vibrato on E real quick. So I have to remember not to go too fast because on cello I have a faster vibrato because the strings are smaller. So I have to remember to go a little bit slower, otherwise it sounds, that sounds a little achy on the bass, I think. So I have to remember to go a little slower. All right, so keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and play it one more time, see if you can add vibrato at least on this E, if nothing else. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. We are not going to do Sweet Betsy from Pike. Instead, we're going to do Iroquois Lullaby, which I'm going to have to do in another video because I don't have it ready today. I don't have it on my stand, so I don't want to spend your time going to get it and coming back. So I'll do another video for everyone on Iroquois Lullaby. Anyway, I miss you. I hope that you're having fun. I hope you're practicing a lot, and I can't wait to see you guys again. I do have some office hours that I posted on Canvas homepage that I'll be online. Right now, just an email through Canvas is probably the best way. My understanding is there might be a chat option through Canvas, which would be great too. So I'll be looking into some other things as well, but for right now, let's just plan on emailing me through Canvas. If there's something that you're doing that you're not sure what's going on, if you could take a quick video of it, and so like, I'm getting a weird sound, so that I could see what's going on, maybe that would help. You could also self-diagnose. If you take a video of yourself, I can tell you right now, seeing myself in the video, I can really see if my bow is straight or not, and it's bothering me when it's not. So that's something you can look at too, if your bow is staying nice and straight. You may have noticed I have a giant mirror over here too. So that's always good to have practice in front of a mirror so that you can see your bow in particular, but also your posture and position, so you can go, oh yeah, Miss Nelson's bothering me about my thumb, or my arm's droopy. No wonder I can't vibrato because my arm's droopy. So you can definitely do some of that on your own. But I'm happy to answer any questions. I miss you guys. Stay safe and healthy. Bye.